welcome to Car Crazy Rio, and just in case you were wondering, it's not Rio like this, it's Rio like this. Well, now that's sorted, let's see what's coming up in tonight's show. I go out on the track in the second instalment of Rio's rides in the Caterham 7 Superlight. I head off-road in some rally karts, but first, here's what happened when I went to investigate the world of IndyCar racing at Rockingham. Welcome to Rockingham Motor Speedway, where for the first time ever we have American IndyCar series here in the UK. This is the first time that IndyCars have been racing at Rockingham, and so far it's going down pretty well. Now, with entry prices ranging from between £80 and £120, it is really surprising that anyone's got any money left at all to buy any presents, but believe me, they have. Well, who would believe it? My own little shop. Now, as we all know, motorsport has its serious moment, but Shelley here has a fantastic job. Tell us what you do.
I'm in charge of the pre- and post-race ceremonies for all the kart events.
Right, is that hard work to organise?
Absolutely. As of today, I think we changed the minute by minute, which is the Saturday schedule, probably 20 times. So it gets a little hectic to make sure the PR reps and the drivers know that they need to be at the podium and what time.
Why has it changed so many times on this weekend?
Well, I think a lot of it was due to the track conditions today. The weather was second, and then the third change was TV. So there's a lot of variables that go into the schedule.
And you get to go to the parties as well, don't you?
Absolutely, the parties are great.
She sort of said to me earlier that the parties didn't really happen when they're all tired. Yeah, right.
It is, after 14 hours at the track, you know, drinking beers or drinking cocktails with the drivers is a little difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, right. We don't believe you at all, do we? Do we, cameraman? No. While I check out a bit more of what's going on here at Rockingham, we've got the second of Rio's rides from my day out with Palmer Sport. Welcome to the second in the series of Rio's rides. This week I've got a real pocket rocket in the form of the Caterham 7 Superlight. This car weighs around £1,200. To put that in perspective, that's exactly half the weight of a Ford Fiesta. Because the car's so light, it gives amazing performance when on the track, travelling from 0 to 60 in just 5 seconds. This Superlight 7 is equipped with an F1 style gear change indicator, which displays a light on the dash when the maximum revs are reached and it's time to shift up a gear. And the 6-speed gearbox allows you to keep the power going as much as you dare. I'm out on the track in the superb Lotus Exceed, testing out my track skills in the Elise's big brother.
Now the great thing about today's racing is there isn't as much restriction on public access as there is in Formula One. For just £15 you can buy a ticket that gives you direct access to the paddock where you can meet the drivers, see the cars, so let's go and have a look.
To find out more about what's involved in running IndyCars, I caught up with a few of the crews while they were preparing the cars in the pits.
Then we're in the pits with my newfound friend Gavin. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Now Gavin, it looks really hectic here today. Can you tell me what's going on right now?
Well, right now what we're doing is final preparations for the race. The engineers are making final gear changes. The mechanics are going through all the cars, making sure that nothing's loose and everything's ready to go.
Ready for the race that's in a couple of hours?
Yeah.
So is it normal that you just get a couple of hours to do as much work as you have to?
Yeah, normally the rule is 2 hours between each session. We get time. There's plenty enough time.
Oh, it's enough time. It's not really stressful?
No.
Okay, so what do you think about the day so far? How's the practice and qualifying gone?
Well, as long as the track stays dry, we'll be doing pretty good. They've had a little bit of difficulty with it, being a new track and all. But I think they've learned from their mistakes and stuff, and we've taught them a little bit, so hopefully
You've come over here to show us how it's supposed to be done properly.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's your first time over here with the racing, yeah?
Yes.
How do you feel about all that?
It's great. It's a good time.
Enjoying our hospitality?
Yeah, I really liked London. It was really fun.
Have you been anywhere in particular in London? Have you had any time off?
We had one day off, and I learned about your train system, which was pretty easy.
Yeah.
And we just traveled all around London.
Blimey, they're working so hard, all busy bees. Well, this is Brandon from Newman Haas Racing. Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Very, very well, thank you. Having a superb day. And what about yourself?
It's all right so far. Hopefully we can get the race in and show you guys a good show.
Yeah.
Make things a little better so we can pack up and maybe go to London tomorrow, have a good time tomorrow night. We don't leave till Monday, so.
It sounds like you want to do his party in London.
A little bit, yeah. We're staying in Corby, which is somewhat smaller.
Yeah.
So we're looking to maybe experience a few different things.
Okay. So tell me about today. How's it all gone for you?
Today's been all right. Past few days have kind of been frustrating because we've been battling through the rain and some track problems.
Yeah.
So today's been all right. We've been able to run a little bit, and hopefully the race will get better from there. This is our first time here at this track, so we're all dealing with the same problems as far as inexperience and knowing the track and what goes on here. Yeah, there's problems with track design and the way the track was built, where there's water coming up through the track because there isn't any place for it to drain underneath. So we've all kind of been battling that, which has been frustrating because it hasn't actually been raining, but we can't run.
IndyCar racing is a massive sport in the US, the most famous probably being the Indianapolis 500, so called for the distance that the drivers have to travel, 500 miles, and that's 200 laps.
Well, that's it for this part, but coming up in part 2, you can find out what happened when I went to hunt out some drivers to find out exactly what the world of IndyCar racing is all about. We show you what went on down in the Welsh valleys when I went to get down and dirty with some off-road karting, and we catch up with the Racing Rescue Unit. See you after the break. Lovely to see you again in the second part of Car Crazy Rio. Still to come, there's my adventures in the Welsh countryside, but first it's back to Rockingham when I was investigating the world of IndyCar racing.
Safety is obviously a huge concern in any motorsport, and not only do they have the standard road ambulances service on site, but there are also air ambulances on site too.
Now we're even closer to the track, so I'm really sorry that I'm shouting. It's a bit noisy here, but I couldn't resist having a chat with Rob, who's one of the flight paramedics. Hello.
Hi.
Today, if anything happens with one of the racing drivers, it's your job to assess them, or do they get assessed for the other guy?
What would happen is they would come into the medical centre from the track, where the team of doctors and nurses in there would decide if their condition was bad enough to warrant being flown, as opposed to be transported by land. If they decide they want to be flown, then we have a doctor in there who's dedicated to fly with us. So we fly with a flight paramedic and a flight physician, if you like, to look after him. So the flight physician looks after the patient's physical needs, and I monitor him via the technology that we carry on board the aircraft.
Now, once you've got the cars and the safety sorted out, the only other thing missing is your drivers. So I hunted down a few to check out what it's like driving an IndyCar and what they think of racing in the UK.
So Tony, how is the qualifying gone for you today?
Well, we had an hour and a half session. Unfortunately, the qualifying standards is going to be as championship points, and I'm starting 10th. But I was the fastest guy this morning, and the car is working pretty well. So I'm excited. You know, thank God it's not raining, so we can put a good show for the people that are here.
So the race is due to start. Can you tell me just how long the race is going to be and how exhausting it is to drive these cars?
Well, this place is going to be really tough. It's going to be pretty tiring because you're in the turns all the way, the whole 168 laps, and it's going to be a tough race.
Is this track more exhausting to race than others, perhaps, then?
Yeah, I think for an oval, I think it's more exhausting than most because you're always turning. You're never really in a straight line.
How long have you been racing for?
14 years.
14 years, but you just look like a babe.
Yeah, I started, I was 10 years old. I was just a kid.
Did you start with go-karts?
Yeah, go-karts.
Fantastic. Well done, and good luck for this afternoon. So tell me a bit about your car. It's heavier than Formula One cars, is that right?
Yeah, probably by 200 or 300 pounds. It might have a tad more horsepower. It's turbocharged, and our cars have to run on a variety of different circuits: ovals, street circuits, road courses. So they're a little bit beefier, a little heavier build.
Does that mean you have to change the setups of the cars for each circuit you go on?
Yeah, quite dramatically. We run several different wing configurations and mechanical setups to get the car to turn only left. We do a lot of strange things that you'd never see in Formula One.
I'll be back at Rockingham in a while when I'll be talking to Johnny Herbert. But before all that, take a look at one of the other events we found going on, which wasn't quite your usual track day. This week we're in Wigan at the Three Sisters Charity Track Day event. The track day is all about raising money for charity, and they're after £10,000. The money that they raise today will go towards making wishes come true for children with life-threatening illnesses, so it's for a fantastic cause. Loads of cars took part in the event, with classic and contemporary cars driving on the same circuit. Definitely a track day with a difference, where people were only too pleased to get involved.
I'm Kat, I'm an AA.com grid girl for the touring cars, and I'm here to do charity track day.
Welcome to Car Crazy Casualty, Operation Distressed Damsel. A fascinating insight into a car crash demonstration where two rescue teams work in sync to ensure the safety and well-being of our damsel in distress.
Okay, what you saw today was two motorsport rescue units, two units which are licensed by the Motorsport Association. They extricated one of the AA grid girls, which they obviously enjoyed doing, from this wrecked car behind us. What they actually did is one unit took one side, the other unit took the other side. They worked together, they took the roof off, and and then within 14 minutes they actually managed to extricate the girl out onto a spine board, into a collar, and then away, in theory, off to hospital had that been a driver.
The team performs well together and our damsel is safe.
Yeah, it is reassuring to know that people can get to you so easily.
Yes, I'm back in the Welsh valleys to continue my off-road adventure. Hello again.
Hello there.
Is this what I'm on this time then?
Oh, it is, yes. Whereas last time on the quads, this time you've got a more powerful engine.
Yay.
But you are safer in respect. You've got a roll cage and you've got a safety harness on you.
Okay, what do you call this?
This is an off-road rally kart.
Off-road rally kart, okay. So it looks a bit like a normal go-kart, but...
It does, but once you get in there, you will see there's quite a big difference when it's off-road itself.
Right.
All right, so if you'd like to get in.
What kind of speeds will I get?
Well, that really depends on how fast you press the accelerator then, I guess. But they're not particularly fast, but this is quite a demanding track.
Fred, how do I...
That's it. Ease yourself in. With these machines, it is vitally important you keep both hands on the steering wheel at all times, especially if you roll it over, all right? There's no putting your arms out the side.
What do you mean, roll it over?
It is known to roll on numerous occasions, okay?
Oh my gosh,
But you are perfectly safe. You have a roll cage around you, you have a safety harness on.
And
when you come round the big corner at the bottom, you're going to come over the jump. If you put your foot down, you're going to get airborne, all right?
Oh my God.
You will be perfectly okay. They've got all-round suspension on them. You probably will not even realise you're actually airborne.
Airborne.
All right?
Okay.
But you're going to get daylight under the wheels. Okay.
Super.
Okay, you can go. How'd you find it?
Well, it's exhausting to steer.
Yeah.
And there don't appear to be any brakes.
None at all?
No.
Well, conditions wouldn't be ideal, but...
Oh, I think that might be because I can't get my foot off here because my legs are so long, so I've probably still got my foot on the accelerator.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and you got wellies on, which aren't ideal, but they'll do for today. Yes.
It's certainly different. I've never known anything like it.
They are different.
Yeah, it's exhausting. But good fun. And when you hit the bumps, boy, you know about that.
You know you hit the bumps. Yeah. It is an off-road, all-terrain track, see? That's what it's all about. Now you got the hang of it, you can go flying around now.
It's not about flying.
Okay.
I definitely need a cup of tea. Off-road karting days are available all over the country. For more information about what's available in your local area, check out the Outdoor Pursuits section of your local telephone directory. Well, that was absolutely brilliant. I have never known anything like it, and of course it's a bit wet as well, so I'm covered in... Can you take the helmet, please? Thank you. Right, let's give it a go without the helmet. I think I'm a bit... I can't get out! Well, you never guess what I'm driving next time. You're just going to have to wait and see that. But I think I need a bit of a break because I can't get out, so I'm going to have to sit here and think about it for a couple of weeks or something. See you next time. Right then, I found a little man you might recognise, Johnny Herbert. Hello.
I'm not little, I'm small.
Compared to me, you're little.
Yeah, I know, but you've got high heels on.
I have not. Trainers, I'll have you know.
Yeah, oh well, never mind. My next life.
So you're here today to do what? You did a lap of honour that didn't really turn out to be a whole lap, did it?
No, unfortunately not, no. Because of all the dampness, they had those jet blower things trying to dry the track out, so unfortunately they put that one off. So I sat down in the end, did a couple of burnouts in the Bentley, and then come back.
And the crowd went wild!
There was no one down there, unfortunately.
Oh.
I'm that end, and they're this end, unfortunately, but there you go.
So what's your opinion of the racing today then? I know the race hasn't started, but the whole event.
Well, it's been a bit unfortunate, obviously, what's been happening the last couple of days with the British weather. But it's great that we got the sun today, it's dried out, the guys are happy. And as they would say in America, let's go racing. So it's going to be interesting because I think the guys are still going to be learning as the day or the race goes on. The track could change as well because it's quite green and new. So as the rubber goes down, the cars will change. So they're going to have to then react in the pit stops to change the car to the actual condition. So it's going to be strategy, I think, is going to be quite important.
What's this pineapple about as well?
Well, this is what Alex Zanardi runs actually on the top of his helmet. He did this. There was a little joke I think they had with Mo Nunn, who he drives for, when he drove at Chip Ganassi a few years ago, and he wears the pineapple on his helmet, and everybody's wearing them today, obviously, with what happened the other week.
Right, okay. I have to say as well, can you believe Johnny Herbert is a fan of mine? You watch the show, don't you?
I do. Who's that?
Can you guess? Thank you very much for your time and great impression of me, I must say. Shall I do one of you? Well, that's it for this week's show. In next week's Car Crazy Rio, I test out my driving skills in a handling course, and Lotus provide me with next week's ride in the spectacular Lotus Exceed. And it's my final off-road adventure in the amazing Tom car. See you next week.